saying?
Okay, so this is why they would not let me work day shift in the Air Force, because I look like this. I have this hair and this mustache, and this picture is when I took I think I took 3 weeks off a year to be to work to help my dad build our cabin in Northern California. I took 3 weeks off and didn't shave, so I grew that much of a beard. So I took this picture before going back to work. I would have shaved, and then I would have slicked my hair back as much as possible and continued to let it grow until they said, you have to cut it or we're going to write you up. And then I would cut it. And that's the way it was every time I got a haircut in the Air Force. And that's why they never wanted me to work day shift, because they didn't even want to have to deal with such a problem character. But on swing shift, which is 4 to midnight, I could look like that, because the honchos that worked daytime didn't have to see me, so I didn't exist. And the people who did see me put up with it just as much as they could until they couldn't, and then they would say, you have to get a haircut or we'll write you up, and then I'd cut it back a little bit and then I'd let it grow again. And so there, that's pretty close to, I'm probably going to need a haircut here pretty soon. There's that one. This is an embarrassing story, if I can find it again. Oh, this one. Here I am in the Air Force too. But this is the way, I got away with this haircut. But if you look at people in the Air Force, they don't have haircuts like that. And that's because I didn't work day shift. I could work swing shifts and I could get away with a haircut like that. Here I am with Bob and Jim, and they've got what do we call that? Some chest definition. But I'm the one with the tan. I had the tan, and they didn't. But they had a chest, and would you call that with those 6 packs?
I call it definition.
Okay, they have some definition. I don't have any definition.
But you're the one in the Army. They're not all.
I know. But I had this because when I was at the Air Force Base, I worked 4 to midnight. So during the day, I'm off free. So I could go to the swimming pool. Which leads me to a story that I've always wanted to tell you, which is when I was in technical school, first you go to boot camp. And in boot camp, they shave your head and make you shave your mustache. I had one. They completely de-hairify you except for your eyebrows. And basic training. Then you go to technical school, which is in a different city. And in technical school, I had an ingrown toenail removed, so they gave me an excuse to not march to school. I could take the bus. So everybody would get up in the morning and have breakfast and head off and march off to school, except me in my dorm. And I would get on the bus, and I could take a bus to school, and I could take a bus home. And I would take the bus home, have lunch, everybody would file out, stand in line, and go off and work the rest of the day at some job, cleaning some place. And I wouldn't. I'd go to the swimming pool. And I sat there. And after my toe had healed, I realized they didn't know the difference. They didn't know whether I was standing in line or still had an excuse to not stand in line. They just took whoever came out and stood in line and marched them off to a work detail. And I sat on my bunk until my roommates left to go to work, and then I would go to the pool. And they had a high dive. I would dive off the high dive.
Oh, those are awesome.
I'd dive off the low dive. I'd sit there and get 10 like this. And nobody ever said, "Why are you so tan and nobody else is?" Nobody else is. Because everybody else is going to school and work detail. That's
Can I
all.
borrow one of your phones? I need 2 phones. I'm having a hard time here with this activation.
What do you want?
I need a telephone. Borrow. What's the number?